Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of MS Music Reviews. Today we got Stavion.
And we got Michael.
Now, today we got a very interesting song. We got Uptown Funk, Bruno Mars. You already know what it is.
Don't believe me, just watch.
I've heard it, you've heard it, but today we're going to review it. Now, what is your first impressions on the song?
I'm not gonna lie, I love this song. I'm a big fan of Bruno Mars. I don't know Mark Ronson as much. Like, I haven't really followed him as much, but Bruno Mars I'm a big fan of. From doo-wops and hooligans to now 24 karat magic.
Of course.
I don't know. I just like Bruno Mars in general. Him as a singer, which here he does an amazing job with his vocals.
As always.
Per usual. Like whenever I think of, Bruno Mars in the song, the first thing I'm thinking of is he's gonna sing and it's gonna be beautiful.
That's one thing you can expect from Bruno. Just consistent, very well performed, very well articulation with the singing, and yeah.
To me, I feel like he really shines with his most recent album, with the Silk Sonic album.
Yeah, Silk Sonic.
That
Anderson
one was.
.Paak. Oh my gosh.
Yes, that one hit.
Yes.
But we getting a little off track.
Let's
Let's
get
get back to it. Let's get back to it.
Get back to the point at hand.
I'm gonna start with all of the good because there's a lot of good to go over.
Okay.
Personally, I loved this song. Like, I know a lot of people got a problem with it because it did get overplayed at one point.
Of course.
So, but that's what any good song is gonna get overplayed.
Any good song.
Yeah, any good song. Okay, fair point, because it could be some bad songs too that get overplayed. Okay.
Exactly.
But with the amount of this song was just great. It had a lot of creative ideas in there. It had a lot of instrumentation that it used. It had a lot of dynamics that it used because there were some times where it was really loud, but then there were some times where it was really quiet. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. And then it'll go into like, a spot.
Pause. Bring it back and continue on with the song. Very fun.
It'll bounce around because sometimes it'll be at a 1, 2, then it'll go up to like an 8, 9. Then it'll bring you back down to like a 4. Then it'll come back up to a 10. So it's like the energy is all over the place, and I love it. I'm here for it because of the way that they smoothly get into it.
Yep.
Personally,
it keeps you hooked.
Yeah,
that's the deal.
Exactly. It's always something new to listen for, and it's always something new that draws to your attention and makes you excited for what the next part is. So I think they did an excellent job at like just raw creative ideas, just throwing them in there. Amazing. Because I feel like every part they like literally went in. They had like a band of people just come together and just play. Like, it didn't sound like a bunch of synths. It just sounded like a bunch of people.
Not robotic, not made in the studio, or people are just pressing buttons. Something just full of life and energy.
Yes, it sounds like people were in there, like they practiced, rehearsed, got used to their parts, and they played them mugs out, and they all recorded it together, and a great job. I enjoyed it. I don't know how this was created. I didn't.
Me neither.
But like, it could have been created in a big band format, or it could have been created in
solo and then just pieced together in a perfect splice, and then boom, perfect project.
Either way, it was done really well.
Well, you can't even tell if it was man-made or not.
But for real. I mean, I really enjoy. Like, I'm a big trumpet fan. Like, I love hearing trumpets.
Horns.
I love brass in general, but specifically I like trumpet. It's hard to really capture. I mean, I don't know if you use as much DAWs as I do, but like, it's hard to really capture that the true timbre of trumpets, because a lot of how they operate is in a way it's kind of the ambience of the room. Like, where you play a trumpet is kind of as important as...
Why do you play the trumpet?
Well, no, like how you're playing it, what notes you're playing. So it's like, trumpets are really interesting. They're interesting to mix, and they're interesting to use in general, because they're really hard to...
Like incorporate with the song?
I mean, incorporate correctly, because you can get a lot of trumpets that don't have that energy and that feeling that this song had. The trumpets in this song felt like real players going in and like playing it. And I don't know if that was the case or if that was how they were doing it.
I mean, obviously.
But it's really hard to get that sound. It's really hard to get that sound by just punching it in. So if they had somebody that just kind of, you know, put it in through like a MIDI keyboard or something, they did an excellent job. You know, they must have went in there and really changed up the velocities and stuff, because they did a really excellent, an extremely great job at the trumpets. I loved all of the brass instruments, but specifically I loved the trumpets for this. What are some of the things that you liked about it? Let me before I move on.
Some of the things that I liked was kind of like what you already hit on. Instrumentation was excellent. I love the instruments that they put in. Horns, you could hear horns like trumpets. You could hear a saxophone. You can even hear a bassist playing, and you hear the dom da da dom. Fantastic. What I thought was a little bit I don't know if this is a con in my opinion or just a really good plus, but if I'm thinking about Bruno Mars's voice, it is so good that sometimes you don't even hear the words that he's saying. I don't know if you ever get that way. Like, you hear most of the words, but you don't actually retain them.
It's because you vibing so hard.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really feel as that's a negative. I think that his voice is just smooth. Like he can just do it. Like, he can just go. But my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, like, the voice is so good. It's so heavenly. It's so decent. The parts that stand out the most to me is when he's being vulgar, which is very rare in most occasions, except for his newest project. Shout out to Silk Sonic.
True.
When he curses and when he says something with some more energy and he sounds rougher, that hits a lot more harder than his regular sing songs, in my opinion. But no, yeah, I really liked the instrumentation. I like how it's pretty much mixed. One weird anomaly that I noticed was when all the music hits the same point, it's almost hard to figure out what's playing all at once, because there's almost, I want to say, 7 different instruments hitting the same note at the exact same time, and you're just kind of like, noise. You know?
Just kind of getting hit in the face with like a wall of sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's intimidating, and maybe it's just because I'm a novice at trying to pick out those instruments, but I thought it was a little intimidating. Couldn't really focus on what was playing, but it sounded good, and maybe that was the point. So no huge complaints there. Just wanted to point that out. What do you think are some cons, if you can find any?
I mean, overall, I think the song is just well done, and the music video also is very well done. I would say, really, the only con that that like was immediately ready for me to like think of and hear is I don't know if it was a sample or if it was somebody singing the do 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 do, like that part. There were times where that was a little bit, I felt like, too loud. Everything else was pretty good. It's just that little sample kind of became a little loud in some parts, and I think it might have taken away just a little bit from the other instruments. But okay. I mean, overall, I think it was good. I don't actually have too much of a qualm with all of the instruments being played in unison, especially at the end. To me, that makes sense because it's the end of the song, so you're gonna go out with a big bang, so a big wall of sound. I can understand why, or if that's not for you. There's a lot of people that just don't like it when too much is done. But overall, I thought it wasn't very many cons in general. It was just generally good.
Okay. I do have one con though, and it's the only one that I can really think of. The other ones were just points of interest that I want to talk about. Maybe you guys in the comment sections can describe how you feel about those, those points of reference. But the one con I do have is the message. Like I said before, when I hear him sing and talk, I can just vibe with the song, but I don't really know what the message was all about. And when I did really try to listen to it, it was probably some of the most basic and like random things I ever heard, if I'm honest.
I mean, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
He
music
talks
video?
about a lot.
Yeah.
He talks about a lot, and it's like there is no really like one linear message. He's just kind of, saying a bunch of things that sound good and that kind of rock well with each other.
Okay.
And it's just like, I'm gonna wow you. That's the whole point of the song. I'm gonna wow you. Cause Uptown Fun gonna give it to you. So yeah, I'm gonna wow you.
Okay.
So I mean, obviously he's gonna be saying and doing things that's a little bit over the top because he's trying to wow you. So, I mean, to me that don't affect me much, but I understand what you're saying. I mean, if you're looking for like something with a deep message or whatever, this is not the song for you. But
obviously.
But overall, I believe that it achieves its purpose in general. So, what would you rate it?
Okay. For this song, with my 2 points of interest and 1 qualm, I think I'm going to give this an 8.5. I was going to go 8 at first, but after you kind of just described the tonal feel and how he executed it, I think he executed this song very well. Yeah, 8.5 is the perfect number for me because it is by far a lot more exceptional than every other dance song that you hear. And this song is so catchy, changes up, keeps you engaged, hooked, line sinker, pulled in, and you still can't get enough of this song. You still want to. You even think about replaying the song, which is absolutely insane. So 8.5 is for those higher tier songs that deserve that placement, and I think this is one of those songs. What about you?
I'm gonna give it a strong Hulk 9.
Okay.
It's to me, it's like the song. It's just, I'm a big fan of like dance songs, dance music, things that get you riled up. Like, I mean, me as a person, I'm normally at like a 9 or a 10 in energy. Like the lowest you ever really gonna see me is at like a 7, and that's when I'm asleep. But
I'm sorry.
But yeah, no. So I personally, I enjoy hype music. I enjoy, a lot of energy, which is something he has a ton of in this movie. In this movie,
might as well be, right?
For real. In this song, he has a ton of energy, a ton of just a ton of
his expressions, the way he moves, the way
a ton
his
of
other
artistic
people
ability, everything, just and not only is the song good by itself, like the video just makes
accentuates
it. Yes, 1000%. So you got a strong 9 from me.
A very high contender and one of the best songs.
Yeah, one of the best songs we covered so far. Yeah.
Not bad.
Alrighty. Well, that's all of us. We gonna ask you to like, comment, subscribe. What do you think about the song? What do you think about Bruno? And what are some songs you'd like to hear us cover next? Alrighty. Y'all have a good one.
Yep. Don't forget to hit that notification button. Much love. See y'all later.